Most of us think we keep repeating painful situations because life is unfair, or because people keep letting us down. But often, the real reason is simpler and harder to accept. We never truly learned the lesson the pain was trying to teach us. Stoicism is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It is about becoming aware. Aware of patterns, aware of choices, and aware of what is actually within our control. When you learn certain lessons once, deeply and honestly, you stop reliving the same emotional cycles again and again. Not because life becomes easy, but because you respond differently. The first lesson is understanding what is truly in your control and what is not. A lot of suffering comes from trying to control outcomes, people, or timing. You overthink conversations, replay mistakes, and stress about reactions you cannot change. Stoicism teaches a simple idea. Your actions, effort, and attitude are yours. Everything else is not. When you accept this, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself for things that were never yours to carry. You still care, but you stop torturing yourself. This does not mean giving up. It means focusing your energy where it actually matters. When you act with intention instead of obsession, you feel calmer and stronger. Over time, this lesson prevents burnout, resentment, and constant disappointment. The second lesson is learning to pause before reacting. Many painful patterns repeat because we react on impulse. Anger, fear, jealousy, or insecurity takes over, and we say or do things we later regret. Stoicism reminds us that between what happens and how we respond, there is a small space. That space is power. When you learn to pause, even for a few seconds, you give your mind time to choose a better response. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It means observing them without letting them control you. With practice, you stop escalating situations that never needed to become painful. You protect your peace and your relationships. Over time, this habit builds self-trust. You start believing in your ability to handle life without losing yourself in the moment. The third lesson is accepting discomfort instead of running from it. Many people repeat the same mistakes because they avoid discomfort at all costs. They stay in unhealthy situations, delay important decisions, or numb themselves with distractions. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is not the enemy. It is a teacher. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it requires honesty and effort. When you stop avoiding discomfort, you stop postponing your life. You begin having difficult conversations, setting boundaries, and facing fears directly. This does not make life painless, but it makes pain meaningful. Instead of suffering randomly, you experience challenges that lead somewhere. This lesson breaks patterns of procrastination, people-pleasing, and self-sabotage. You learn that temporary discomfort is better than long-term regret. The fourth lesson is not tying your self-worth to external validation. Many emotional patterns repeat because we depend on approval to feel enough. Likes, praise, attention, or comparison quietly control how we see ourselves. Stoicism reminds us that worth is not something others give or take. When you rely on external validation, your mood becomes fragile. When you build inner standards, you become stable. This does not mean ignoring feedback. It means not letting it define you. You start measuring yourself by effort, integrity, and growth rather than outcomes or opinions. Over time, you stop chasing people who do not value you and stop shrinking yourself to fit expectations. This lesson brings quiet confidence and emotional independence. The fifth lesson is remembering that life is temporary, including pain. Stoicism often reflects on impermanence, not to scare you, but to ground you. When you remember that nothing lasts forever, you stop clinging to both fear and comfort. You realize that today's struggles are chapters, not conclusions. This perspective helps during stress, heartbreak, and uncertainty. Instead of asking why this is happening to you, you start asking how you can respond wisely. You become more patient with yourself and others. You waste less time holding grudges or overthinking small things. This lesson does not remove pain, but it softens it. It reminds you to live with intention, not urgency. Learning these lessons once does not mean you will never struggle again. It means you struggle with awareness instead of confusion, with responsibility instead of blame, with calm instead of chaos. Stoicism is not about being perfect. It is about responding better, little by little. And when your responses change, your patterns do too.